Tonight on Fox 8, Governor Shapiro visits our region to talk about expanding broadband internet access. An update from officials on an alleged homicide after a man's body was found near a road in our area.
Fox 8 News, the place to be at 10 o'clock, starts with severe weather.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for Fox 8 News at 10. I'm Stoker Wieczorek. We're going to toss it right to Tony for weather. It's definitely not the time to be camping out, would you say?
No, hopefully nobody was doing anything like that tonight, Stoker. A powerful line of storms rumbling across the area tonight. Cooling things off a bit. Our highs earlier today, 80 to 85 across much of the region. Things now backing off into the 60s. Most areas are rain cooled, and we will see temperatures tonight falling back into the upper 50s and low 60s. That line of storms earlier coming in from parts of Michigan and southern Canada, dropping southeastward across Pennsylvania. The worst of the storms over with for much of the area. Parts of Somerset County and Bedford County, you're on the back edge, but things will continue to move along as we go throughout the night. Sunshine is back tomorrow all day long. We start off with temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s at 6 a.m., upper 70s for the afternoon. Even better for the weekend. We'll check it out in just a bit.
Tony, thanks. The Center County man will spend the next 5 to 10 years in prison and must register as a sex offender for life for raping a mentally disabled child back in October. He was charged with 1 count of rape of a child, among others. According to the criminal complaint, David Heck of Phillipsburg was spotted by witnesses naked in the woods performing sex acts and threatened the child if he told anyone what happened. The victim's family was in the courtroom this morning when the judge asked Heck if he had any comment. He said, quote, "Wish me luck." The Prospect Tenant Association met earlier today to discuss recent developments in its effort to return to their homes. Victoria Langowska was there and has more on what the Prospect community spoke about. Victoria?
Stoker, the former tenants met along with State Representative Frank Burns to discuss recent findings from public records obtained by Burns and to update everyone on what's been going on during meetings with the Johnstown Housing Authority.
The Prospect Tenant Association met in Central Park on Thursday, with State Representative Frank Burns also attending. The association provided updates after meeting with the Johnstown Housing Authority.
The tenants that want to be relocated can, free of charge, on behalf of JHA. The tenants that need to be relocated that are unhappy can relocate. As soon as the Johnstown Housing Authority, in which that's going to take anywhere from probably 6 to 12 months, bid on the contractors for the rebuilding of our homes. They're going to let us know, and if the contractors need help, us tenants are going to be allowed to help with the rebuild.
So far, we do not have any confirmation from the Housing Authority that any rebuilding or refurbishing process will take place. State Representative Burns obtained public records from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, following a Freedom of Information Act request 3 months ago.
What we found out there is that the decision to shut Prospect down was not a decision made by HUD. It was a decision made locally here. It was made by the Johnstown Housing Authority to evacuate Prospect. Simply because ceilings fell in one of the units, they made the decision to rush everybody out of there.
At a previous JHA monthly meeting, residents in attendance told 6 News they were told by a JHA board member that, quote, HUD calls the shots, when discussing the forced evacuations of more than 100 tenants. In the documents obtained by Representative Burns, HUD's public affairs specialist wrote that HUD provides funding and other services to the JHA, and quote, we can clarify that we don't own any of the housing or directly manage it.
What is it going to cost to replace or redo Prospect? What is the actual cost that it will take to get these people back into their homes and get the Prospect community vibrant again? They're failing to provide that information. They've had plenty of time to get somebody up there to evaluate the situation, but we're hoping that they can provide those details so the public knows exactly what it cost.
We reached out to the Johnstown Housing Authority for comment, but have not yet heard back. Reporting live, Victoria Langowska, Fox 8 News.
Victoria, thanks. Penn State is proposing no increase in tuition next year for in-state students attending their Commonwealth campuses. But as the Penn State trustees are now meeting on budget issues, a major component of their funding remains a political football in Harrisburg. Gary Sinderson has that update.
Thursday afternoon, a Penn State Trustee Committee on Finance details a proposed university budget for the next 2 years. University's recent operating budget deficit of $140 million is now projected to be $63 million. As for tuition for the upcoming school year, a 2% increase for in-state students at University Park and no increase for that group at Commonwealth campuses. But those figures based on an expected 7% increase in state funding for Penn State. It directly impacts tuition levels. But the funding for Penn State, Pitt, Temple, and Lincoln, the state's non-preferred universities, is on hold this year. It's separate legislation that requires 2/3 approval in both the House and Senate, and a group of House Republicans are blocking approval, looking for concessions this year.
Our goal was to get reforms with these non-preferreds, using our 2/3 vote as leverage to make sure that happens.
What are the House Republicans requesting from the 4 schools? Holding the line on tuition increases and
Right to know, placing them under right to know, making sure we have accountability and transparency.
the schools are not subject to most of the provisions in the state's right to know law, but another legislator tells us
On the right to know aspect, we've been in negotiations with universities looking at a way that we can give more access.
Penn State's full board of trustees is expected to vote on next year's tuition levels at their meeting on Friday. In Center County, Gary Sinderson.
The Cambria County Backpack Project is celebrating its 10-year anniversary today. For the past decade, the Backpack Project has been serving weekend food to local children who might not get a meal otherwise. The celebration was held in Highland Regional Park in Richland today to not only celebrate the 10-year milestone, but also to celebrate their newly recognized IRS status of being a nonprofit organization and new branding. The celebration also marked a new milestone of serving over 50,000 bags of weekend food to children in Cambria County. According to organizers, reaching such a landmark is largely due to their volunteers, and they stress that volunteers for this program are needed now more than ever. To learn more about the Cambria County Backpack Project or to get involved, you can visit their website at ccbackpack.org. The Barbie movie premiere came out early for some people in Cambria County this evening. Organizers say it wouldn't have been possible without help from the Memorial Highway Chevrolet. Human resource representatives say the representation of Barbie being in an electric vehicle version of the Corvette further emphasizes the move towards sustainable fuel usage.
Barbie has always been an inspiration to all of us girls as we were growing up. Barbie was able to do anything she wanted to do. There was multiple Barbies. Anything you could imagine, Barbie had done it. So I think it was like kind of the inspiration for all of us. So why not have Barbie in the newest and most efficient vehicle known right now as the electric vehicle.
Organizers also say that people seeing the Barbie movie tonight are getting to see it before anyone else in the country. Coming up, an update to the body found on Route 403 that investigators say they believe was the result of a homicide. Authorities releasing new details today surrounding a homicide where officials say the body of a local man was found on the side of Route 403. Brock Owens tells us the latest.
Authorities say Johnstown couple Justin Green and Brooke Poland, facing charges in connection to the death of Daryl Lee, have a young child who's now being cared for by Cambria County Child Protective Services.
Investigators say Lee was in the passenger seat of Green's truck when Green shot and killed Lee with a shotgun. They say shots being fired last Thursday just before 5 p.m. as they were driving on Franklin Street in Johnstown. Green told investigators he, his girlfriend Poland, and their young child drove to Maryland where he threw away the gun in the Potomac River. Investigators say they've yet to recover the gun.
Obviously, you don't want kids to be exposed to anything like this. What the child may or may not have been exposed to, frankly, we will never know.
Cambria County District Attorney Greg Niebauer says there's about a 12-hour time frame from the alleged shooting until the body was discovered by someone passing by. Troopers say they're still piecing together the events in that time and could use help from anyone who may have seen Green's distinctive truck.
If anyone happens to know anything about having seen that vehicle, anything like that, obviously we'd be interested to hear.
They say contact Indiana County State Police with information. Troopers say Green is facing criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and robbery, while Poland's facing tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse. Officials say the couple will be tried in Cambria County, even though the body was found in Indiana County.
Because we do believe that the homicide occurred in the city of Johnstown, multiple warrants were executed in Cambria County. It makes sense, I think, overall from a case standpoint.
Authorities say preliminary hearings are scheduled for August 2nd. Reporting in Indiana County, I'm Brock Owens.
It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. That's what Governor Josh Shapiro said today about expanding internet access to more rural parts of Pennsylvania. Mackenzie Jarrell has more.
According to Governor Josh Shapiro, more rural parts of Pennsylvania, including parts of Cambria County, will have high-speed, affordable internet within the next 5 years. The governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, made a visit to the Northern Cambria Senior Center Thursday to discuss the importance of expanding internet access to more rural parts of Pennsylvania, such as Northern Cambria County.
This is not a luxury. This is a necessity.
Shapiro spoke on just how crucial having internet access is today.
We know that reliable, high-speed, affordable internet leads to better outcomes for our students when they learn. It leads to better healthcare outcomes. We know that better economic outcomes come when you have access to the internet. We also know that it's particularly important for our seniors.
Velma Heineman is a member of the Northern Cambria Senior Center.
So you don't have internet access where you live right now?
Not very good, no.
Heineman says she will often travel the 2 miles from her home to the senior center so she can access the internet. She says she's happy about the governor's efforts to bring more internet access to Cambria County, and she's not the only one.
It brings attention to Cambria County, and it shows the governor does care about rural America. As we go into a room, we turn the light switch on, and the light comes on. And internet and broadband should be just like that. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity.
So we're adding another 175,000 seniors, so you'll have to check.
Shapiro says he recently learned there's $1.2 billion in money available for Pennsylvania to get better internet access.
Now I'm assuming, like me, none of you have any idea what $1.2 billion means to you individually. And that's really the most important thing at the end of the day is how do we make sure that that money helps you, helps Cambria County, helps the good people of Pennsylvania.
Shapiro said after reviewing a map made by the federal government, there was more than 50,000 Pennsylvanians living with unserved or underserved internet access, and under a new 5-year plan awaiting his signature, that would no longer be the case.
It means that finally they're now going to get internet. Think about that. They're going to get internet.
I think it's great, yes, we can use it. I know that the high school children, a lot of times they don't have good access, that they can't get it. It's not fast enough and they have problems. Right. So it's good.
Reporting in Cambria County, I'm Mackenzie Jarrell.
Fox 8 weather.
Welcome back. Heavier downpours, thunder and lightning working across much of the region within the last couple of hours. The worst of the storms now continue to move off to the south and southeast, and that is topping our weather headlines. The back edge moving across southern Pennsylvania right now. Skies will clear from northwest to southeast as time wears on tonight, and we will see some patchy fog forming as the night wears on with this heavy rain that has moved through here recently. Nice weekend is on the way. In fact, tomorrow, Friday, looks pretty good as well. We will have sunshine. Small chance of a shower or two popping up. Most spots will stay dry, and everybody will stay dry Saturday and also into Sunday. And to go along with the sun, lower humidity on the way. Lows today so far ranging throughout the upper 50s and low 60s. Tomorrow night, early Saturday, widespread mid-50s. So a cool, comfy night is on the way tomorrow night, and then again Saturday night and Sunday morning. Highs today, 80 to 85, exactly where we should be for this time of year. Watching showers and storms now moving off to our south and southeast. Again, the southern and eastern parts of the area still with some rain and thunder. but the worst of it has moved through, and things will continue to move along as time wears on tonight. Tomorrow morning, upper 50s and low 60s, some patchy fog early, then sunshine takes over. You notice a few specks of green speckled on the map, so there is the chance of a passing shower, but most spots will not have any rain at all. Then skies clear out altogether, heading into Saturday morning, and look at these lows, 53, 54, 55 degrees. That's going to feel pretty good, and we're not going to get chilly by any means. The afternoon on Saturday, very nice, upper 70s to low 80s. So some great weather coming our way here over the next couple of days. Outside of a passing shower tomorrow, the next 3 days look great. Sunday, 80 with sunshine. A couple of scattered storms will fire back up as we move into Monday and also Tuesday as the humidity rises. And then after that, high pressure takes over and the hottest temperatures of the summer so far coming our way later next week.
You think it's hot now? NASA says get ready for next year. The space agency issued a warning Thursday that says next year will probably be even warmer. That's because we haven't really felt the impact of El Nino yet. And instead, what we're experiencing right now is the result of climate change. NASA says has been caused by burning fossil fuels. So next year, as that continues and the natural El Nino weather cycle starts to impact things, the mercury will rise even higher. NASA scientists are also worried about warming ocean temperatures. Hotter oceans help fuel catastrophic weather events like hurricanes and melting glaciers, making water levels rise. Cutting-edge technology meets high-level hoop dreams, and watch a basketball shooting robot face off against an NBA shooting coach. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Hello, sports fans. Get ready for the clash of the titans you never knew you needed. It's a world-class NBA shooting pro versus an AI-powered shot-shooting robot in what's sure to be a hoop-tastic throwdown. Isn't that right, Jim?
That's right, Phil. Chris Matthews is an expert NBA shooting coach who traveled to Japan to take on this shot-calling b-ball and bot designed by Toyota engineers. The robot, called Q6, is powered by artificial intelligence and actually set a Guinness World Record by sinking more than 2,000 consecutive free throws, Jim.
Well, Phil, the bot's got game, but Matthews has a decidedly human trait, trash talking.
See what you got, Q.
Even though the dead-eyed droid took down the first round, in the end, this man versus machine match was called a tie. A Texas couple used an expert ball handler of their own to shoot their shot while trying to decide which embryo to transfer first in their efforts to have a baby via in vitro fertilization. They let their dog Charlie decide. The couple wrote boy and girl on a pair of tennis balls, and the one Charlie fetched would get the first shot. And the winner was? I don't know. The couple says the result will be revealed in a follow-up video. Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm on pins and needles too. Finally, this last story is just pure gold. The Golden Retriever Club of Scotland hosted a Return to Roots event, gathering hundreds of golden good boys and girls at the Goosachen House in the Scottish Highlands, which is said to have first birthed the breed back in 1868. What a perfect way to spend the dog days of summer. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Showers, thunderstorms wrapping up, moving from northwest to southeast across the region. There will be some patchy, dense fog overnight. That will burn off pretty fast tomorrow morning because we have lower humidity coming in, lots of sunshine around. Friday looks to be a pretty great day. There's a small chance of a shower left over in spots, but overall a lot quieter than what we had out there this evening across much of the region. Then, speaking of quiet weather, the weekend, boy oh boy, sunshine both Saturday and Sunday, and low humidity. Great weekend to be outdoors.
Definitely a weekend to look forward to. Thank you. Well, that's all we have for Fox 8 News tonight. Stick around. Fox 8 News Now is next. Excuse me.